So Terraform destroy is be used whenever we need to delete any of the resources from our account. Okay, so it depends on your requirement if you want to delete all the resources that you have created with the help of Terraform apply, or you may want to delete some specific resources. Okay, for example, you may have a multiple virtual machines, multiple storage, multiple load balancer, and some other multiple resources that has been configured with Terraform apply. Okay, whatever the resources that you have defined in your code files, but you don't want to delete all the resources, but you want to delete some specific resources. Okay, so depend on our requirement, we use the Terraform destroy command. Okay, so again, Terraform destroy command we can use without plan file or with plan file. The benefit is same if you're creating a plan file during the destroy command. So that plan file you can review before actually implementing the destroy. Okay, so the purpose of Terraform delete destroy is to delete all the resources managed by the Terraform. It delete resources that are tracked in Terraform state file. Okay, so one thing you have to note down, Terraform state file only maintain the resources that has been created by the Terraform, not the other resources, right? That means if we have configured some resources with some different method, like from you logged into your AWS console and then you have configured some resources, okay? So that will not be tracked. Again, similarly, if you are using the AWS CLI, like the AWS CLI command to create the resources, that will not be tracked by the Terraform because Terraform state file has doesn't have the information about that resources. The reason is that those resources has not been created by the Terraform. Okay, so Terraform only track the resources in the state file. Those has been created by the Terraform files only. Okay, so we can use this when there is no, the infrastructure is no longer needed. So we just run the Terraform destroy. It will delete or remove all the infrastructure resources that you have created with the help of Terraform apply command. Okay. So now, as I said, you can use the destroy with the plan file as well. If suppose you want to create a plan file and then you are planning to just review your plan file and then maybe the deletion you are planning to execute after a couple of hours or maybe a few days of a time. Okay, and when you're actually going to run the destroy, okay, you wanted to make sure that your plan is exactly same what you have planned a few days back or couple of hours back for the destroy. Okay, so we can just run the Terraform plan. Okay, and destroy hyphen out equal to destroy plan. So when we are doing the planning, okay, so we can run the hyphen destroy and then you can specify a destroy plan file name there. Okay, and then you can run the show Terraform destroy plan to check your the plan that has been you created for the destroy, and then you can apply the Terraform with the help of Terraform apply destroy plan. That means you are reviewing the plan before actual define your destroy, and make sure the different plan file for destroy. Okay, so as we seen that we create the plan file during the planning phase as well, right? For before we actually apply the changes. Okay, so those plan files are completely different than the file that we create for the destroy. Okay, it is different. Okay, so difference is only in control and safety. So now some demo, if I show you the demo, okay, so now, so this is going to delete all the resources that has been created with the help of Terraform apply command. Okay, but now suppose that you have multiple resources and you want to delete some specific resources. Okay, so you can run the Terraform destroy command and you can specify the target. So with the help of hyphen target, what we can do, instead of deleting all the resources that has been created by Terraform apply, we can delete some of the specific resources. Now this is the demo that we have seen so far to create one of the virtual machine, right? So this is the AWS instance resource type, and the identifier that we have given for the Terraform for this particular machine is web, right? So this particular machine is going to be identified by a Terraform with the help of AWS underscore instance dot web with the help of identifier, right? So now suppose that you have a multiple resources. This is one of the virtual machine that you want to delete. So with Terraform destroy, you can give the hyphen target and then name of your particular identifier for this particular virtual machine. So with this command, what will happen, it will not delete all the resources that has been created. Instead, it will delete only this particular virtual machine which we have specified in the target. So that means you have the liberty, either you can destroy all the resources that we have been created with the help of Terraform apply command, or you can destroy some specific resources, right? So let me quickly show you with the execution as well, right? So now this is the code file that we have used some time back to create the virtual machine, right? And if I go to my cloud console, so this is the machine. that has been created. So there is no name as of now, okay, because we have not specified the tag for the name. So when we create the virtual machine, so that I will explain you in detail when we will go into the code section, how where we will understand how to create the code files, what is the meaning of each and every parameter. So there I will show you. So here we add one more parameter, tag. With the tag parameter, we can specify a name for our machine to be displayed here. Okay, and the web that we are using, if you see that we have used the web tag, this web tag is for just an identifier for your Terraform. So with the help of this resource type AWS underscore instance dot web, so this will be the identifier for your Terraform to identify this particular virtual machine. Okay, so now what I will do, because we have already created, planned, and we have already created this particular virtual machine, so I will run the Terraform destroy command, okay, to destroy this particular virtual machine. Right. So this is the same sequence what we have been seeing so far. Terraform init, Terraform validate, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, and then the last stage is Terraform destroy. Okay. So I will quickly go here. Right. So here we have created the machine, and then we have seen in the previous session, we have modified the type of instance type of your machine. So now simply we can run Terraform destroy. Sorry. Terraform destroy. Okay, so now what will happen, because I am running this this Terraform destroy in my this particular project. So this is going to read only the configuration file that is applicable to this particular project. Okay, so here I have my main configuration file. This is the configuration file. Okay, so what we have there, we have only one virtual machine which we have created earlier, right, with the help of Terraform apply. So this will going to delete this particular virtual machine from my cloud account, which is showing here as a running. Okay, so now you can see here it is showing you 0 add because it is not going to add anything, 0 change because it is not going to change anything, 1 to destroy, right? So there we have one virtual machine that has been created with the help of this code file. So this is going to deploy this particular file. Now suppose that we have multiple virtual machines here, okay, not only one, right? So if I run the Terraform destroy, so everything will be deleted, whatever the resources that we have defined in this file. So as of now, we have only one virtual machine. So it is going to delete only one virtual machine because we have only created a one virtual machine with this code file, right? So what I will do here, I will specify yes. It will take the input and then it is going to destroy the instance. So now this is the instance ID which we have seen in the console as well, right? This is the instance. This is the corresponding instance ID here, right? Which you can see here as well. And how this instance ID has been identified, because this virtual machine is created by the Terraform, and state of this particular virtual machine is maintained in the Terraform state file. This is a state file that has been created during the apply. So this state file has the information about, complete information about this virtual machine, and based on that, based on the identifier AWS underscore instance dot web, based on this Terraform identifier, it can able to identify this particular virtual machine on my cloud account, right? And now it is going to delete. Now you can see one is destroyed. So this is completely destroyed. So if I show you the status here now, it is saying fail to describe volume because this has been deleted. Okay. So now you can see here the instance is terminated. So this instance is terminated. That means it has been deleted. Okay. And it will be vanished from this particular console after some time. Okay. So this is the way how we run the destroy. So now I hope you have complete clarity on all the important states of the Terraform, because this is the base of Terraform. Okay, because whenever we run the Terraform commands, we go with the same stages, same phases, and it is very important to understand what exactly we do in each and every phase. And I tried my best to explain everything from the scratch with the examples, so that you have a complete clarity on the different states when we move from init to validate to plan to apply and then till destroy.